Hey, I really hate to say this. I think there's someone hanging right there. I'm not even f***ing kidding. Do you see it? I'm not even, this isn't a f***ing joke, guys. That's a f***ing person. Dude, I f***ing told you. This is top 5 craziest things I've ever experienced in my life.
Top 5?
Top 1. This is the craziest thing I've ever experienced. I ain't gonna be sober for this shit. I'm gonna drink this Japanese sake, because this is literally the f***ing craziest moment of my life.
Hello guys, my name is Creepy Pete, and my show right here is all about creepy pastas. We call it Creepy Pete's Pasta Party, and I'm part of the LAG radio network that our good friend here, Chili Cheese Jay, or Cheap Jay RadBad, has started.
Gotta get the full wrestling, I can't talk.
It's okay, none of us can talk. This is actually our second take of doing this, so we might release a blooper later on the road. I'm gonna blame Monica on corrupting our stuff and turning our mics down.
I'm gonna blame Austin.
Yeah, I'm gonna blame. You guys just heard the raddest baddest Doki. Is that what we decided?
That would be correct. Yes.
Doki. The raddest baddest Doki. Yeah, we're gonna be talking about Doki Doki. For those of you who aren't familiar with it, please go play it. Turn this off and go watch it. But we're gonna be running through that today, and it is basically, if you're not familiar with it, which you're missing out in life entirely. It's Creepypasta the game. It's just the most majestic train wreck of a fucking depression you will ever ride in your life.
It's a depressed unicorn of a game.
Yes, you just that's
a really good
away.
Unicorns should not be depressed. You shouldn't look at a unicorn and think, oh, he must be so depressed.
Emo unicorn, dude,
Emo
with
unicorn.
bangs over his horn, man.
It kind of reminds me of something we had at the station a while back. Someone started a Twitter account called the Hipster Shark. And it was just a Twitter account of a shark saying hipster things.
That's stupid.
Yeah. I mean, why not? Yeah. Well, why not?
It probably still exists, but I'm not going to justify it by looking it up.
It's basically Sharknado, anything past the first one, right?
There's only one Twitter account that matters, and it's Lil Monic X.
Lil Monic X.
That's Monica's Twitter account.
Oh, I was going to say, what about Monica?
I don't know why it's Monic X, but
somebody took Monica.
That's what it is.
Jason. Chief RadBad. Chief Jay RadBad. But yeah, we're going to be talking about Doki Doki. We're going to break it up. The game is set into separate acts, so we're just going to go act by act and discuss our experiences. And Act 1's really dry. It's I shouldn't say it's really dry. It just takes a while to get used to it if you're not familiar with it.
It's a visual novel.
Yeah, it's by definition.
That's all it is in Act 1.
That's really all it ever is. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, it does.
It turns into a shit show at some point.
But it's still a novel.
Yeah.
Yeah. A novel with a lot of fourth wall breaks.
Yes. Probably the biggest fourth wall break in gaming history, I would kind of venture to say.
Yeah.
I had
that becomes all it's about at one point.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The whole
much,
last half. Yeah. At some point, I had an idea that it might go that way. But I didn't fully intend to the extent that it did. Yeah. But I'm skipping ahead a little bit. I probably shouldn't do that. So we're just going to go into Act 1.
Spoiler alert.
Really dry.
Spoiler
lots
alert.
Of spoiler alerts. And you're basically given a choice. You can choose between Sayori, who's your childhood best friend. You can choose between Yuri, who's the BTGG, big titty goth girlfriend, and her booming personality.
That's a booming personality?
Just booming personality in your face as you're reading the book with her. And then you have to, I always mess up Natsuki's name because I don't give a shit about Natsuki.
I don't give a shit.
She's the malnourished manga fan.
Who is a child.
She's a child, yes. I agree with the raddest baddest Doki. She's a child, and I feel wrong for... I never looked at, maybe for a second, but... I'm gonna cut that out.
Make note.
Make note. FBI listening. Please don't.
So yeah, you start the game as a nameless antagonist. Not antagonist.
Protagonist.
If you
I
want
guess
to be
in a way,
technical,
yeah.
you're the antagonist to Monica because you're stopping her from her...
And a Yuri, for
plot.
God's sakes.
Oh, I wasn't stopping none of that. No, fuck no. No, that's green lights to go.
But did you all put in your actual name for the character's name? Because that's what
Yes,
I remember
I did.
suggesting that to you because it just makes it that much more fucked up.
I did a nickname for mine, and it still...
Monica got into your computer.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just start with this. Do not get this game on Steam. They will fuck you. Go to ddlc.mo. That is MOE, and that is all. That is all you need to know.
And that's because you have to have access to your game folder at all times. Not necessarily the first part, but no spoil. Well, what am I saying? No spoilers. What the fuck?
Yeah, we're gonna spoil the shit out of this.
We're gonna ruin this game for you.
But there are files that show up in your folder, sometimes only for a little bit. So you gotta kind of keep an eye on it. There's one in particular that's there for all of like 2 scenes, I think, and then goes away. And it's just Monaco wishing you a happy weekend. Which we know what that weekend consists of.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Depression.
when you download it on Steam, I don't know anything about Steam, but apparently they bury your game folders within the Steam folders. And it's
they
just
do.
a pain in the ass to
Yeah,
find.
see, I wasn't aware
find
of that.
shit, dude. You can't
Yeah.
find shit on Steam. So
Whereas if you just download it from the Doki website, it's just right there in your downloads.
It's a much better experience. It's so much of a better
Drag it onto your
experience.
desktop and go.
Just stick with it. Always stick with it until
And now,
you see credits.
Now when we play it again, we don't have to worry about skipping poems and things like that. When we're just using the skip function and just trying to get through shit.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I missed a lot of poems, especially in that first half, because like I didn't care about the narrative at that point. Like
Yeah.
when you're first going through it, I was having a really hard time.
Yeah,
getting
it's
into it.
it's weird at first. I knew more about it going into it my first playthrough, so I know it's coming. So I know to get invested in it. Whereas like you guys are like, what the fuck am I even doing?
See, I started and I was like, what the fuck is this? Why am I doing this? But then I was like, man, I start to care about these girls, and then yeah.
And then Sayori starts pouring her heart out to you, and you're just like, oh fuck, this is going there, isn't it?
It's going there.
I had an idea that it might go there, and I thought it would go there.
The listeners don't even
Let's
know
just say
where
that
it's
the
going.
warning they give you at the beginning is legit.
I had
Fucking legit.
no idea that like suicide scene would be so intense with all the music
Yeah.
in the background.
The music is like that noise, like right when you walk in the door, and it's just like, whoa, jarring, fuck.
Yeah.
There she is.
Hey guys, Act 1.
That's Act
Well, this
one.
is that's the end of Act
Yeah,
One.
that's There's really not a whole lot to talk about. in Act
Yeah,
one.
you're just deciding who's your wife.
Yeah, it's
Who's my wife?
it's creepy weeaboo shit.
Creepy weaving shit. That's
Which
a
is
good
the
summary.
point of the game, really. I mean, that's kind of why he made the game, Dan Civaldo, because he
For
I mean,
weebs.
It was like it's like
Fucking
playing
yuppies.
on that whole thing about it's a dating simulator. Get outside.
Yeah, like,
Don't sit around. But the one that you do, because I've never played any of those. I didn't even
Right.
know they existed, to be honest with you. Unless, well, I don't count games like Persona, because that's a whole different beast.
or Fable.
Yeah.
You can mark Fable in that category.
Yeah, there's a whole
Dragon
aspect
Age
of
you
it.
can date.
Yeah. But this is like, but the visual novels
Yeah,
in particular.
that's
Where that's
strictly-
all you're
yeah.
doing is choosing your waifu.
Right.
When
which
I
is
went
weird
into
as
this,
fuck.
I thought it was kind of like a point and click. Like, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like, I have no mouth, but I can't scream. I don't know if you ever played that game.
Yeah, it's based
That's
on
a-
Philip K. Dick.
Yeah, it's a really good game. I
Yeah.
thought it was going to be like that. You just like go around like role play with these girls.
of it, but I've heard it's fucked up.
Oh, it's, yeah, you want to talk about, that's another game filled with fucking depression. I might
need
do
to
that
play
in a
it.
later episode. That might be
Yeah,
a good
there you go.
topic. Yeah.
It's another creepypasta-like experience.
Oh, yeah, there's tons of them. But yeah, no, Doki Doki. Oh, fuck, man.
It's totally turning the idea of a visual novel on its head, because the idea of a visual novel dating sim is ridiculous when you really think about it. You know, when I was a kid, you know, it was flying cars and hoverboards. Now we have dating sims of anime girls. That was the future. That
That is the future.
That's the future.
Yeah, I mean, you get lonely, man. Like sometimes, you know, my girlfriend's at work, and I want to feel some compassion, so I log in. I talk to my favorite waifu Yuri, and I watch her
she
kill
kills
herself. I cry every time. Cry into some Kleenex.
So,
Sticky Kleenex.
that starts way before the suicide shit.
Overlord.
okay, so how many poems are there in an act?
In an act, there's at least 3 from each girl, right? right?
Is there? I
'Cause
don't
there's
remember.
3 days. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think that sounds about right.
I want to say
Okay, yeah.
So
'cause
9
before the
in
festival. It's
every
like
day.
no one even talks about the festival that's supposed to happen.
You don't even get to
No,
experience it.
it's like the day of you're like playing towards this day of the festival in the first act. You're like, all right, this has an end game. We're going towards this literature festival, and it just drags you down with it slowly as you start to realize something is not right. And then Sayori, the character who is your best friend, starts to really get heavy with her feelings, and the more you try to help her, the more she pushes away and says, you can't help me. It goes way deep into this whole depression spiral, and
It's a
all
pretty
kinds of
accurate
uncomfortable
depiction of depression,
yeah,
too.
there's no doubt. Again, like I said, the warning they give you at the beginning of the game is legit.
yes.
And I don't even have anxiety, and it still fucked with me. I mean, so...
There was a lot of moments in it where I wasn't necessarily I wasn't traumatized by any means. I hope nobody.
It's just
was
uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's just uncomfortable. I'm like, holy, yeah, shit, we're going
There's
there.
sometimes
Okay,
you just
yeah.
gotta close the laptop for a little bit.
Yeah, and because and especially when it's pushing you to make these decisions with Sayori, where it's like, all right, the game is like, you have to choose now.
Oh,
what
I
what
felt
are you going to
guilty.
say to Sayori? And you're like, why are you doing this to me?
Why
For
must
me, it was
be
easier
so difficult?
because I chose to just ignore Yuri completely early on. For the reasons why you love her.
I don't know what it is, man. As soon as
Okay, so let's get into Yuri's tale.
okay, you want to get into her
Yeah, because
what
she's-
makes her tick?
She's like the most interesting character. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
She
Interesting's a word for it, yeah.
yeah, like she takes you into this strange, lonely world of hers, because she lives in her books and stuff.
These weird cult books that she's super into, and for me it was you first meet her and she's described to you as the most mature and the most intelligent out of the girls when they give you their little description of if you like simple and fun, Natsuki's your alley. If I forgot what they give for Sayori.
Monica's
but-
athletic and they
Yeah,
kind
she's,
of make
sporty.
Monica out to be the most like you in a way. At the beginning of the game.
Well, then again, she's also the most popular girl in school.
Yes, that's
so
right.
That's something to
because she is
strive
the
for.
leader of the literature club. But we're talking about Yuri.
Yeah, and you
Just
get into Yuri, and she starts. You start to notice things are going a little south when she gives you a copy of her favorite book, and you notice that she's just constantly rereading this book.
And doesn't she have notes and everything written
Uh-huh.
down in it, and lines underscored, and just obsessed with it?
It's like her Bible, and she describes it to you as this cult that a bunch of mutants with human experimentation. For me, the description was different. It was similar, but it was a different description than what my girlfriend got when she played it. When she played it, it only talked about the religious cult stuff, and then when I played it, it talked about the human experimentation stuff.
Probably the poems.
It very well
Yeah.
could have been the poems.
That's the only thing I could think of.
Because I was gung-ho Yuri from the start.
Yeah, so you were picking every word.
Yeah, I
for
knew.
Yuri.
I knew
Right, yeah.
that
Like
she was my
depression,
soulmate.
Yuri.
Well, no, you gotta be
Yuri.
careful. You gotta be careful because depression is Sayori's word.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I got myself on that a lot because she likes the bittersweet shit and Yuri just likes the bitter shit. So you click on the bitter shit and sometimes you get Sayori, sometimes you get Yuri.
Or just
but
straight
that's
up,
all right.
like dark colors and stuff like that. It was
Yeah, there's crimson is one that I
Yeah.
always picked because it's part of the
Clearly.
blood. Yeah,
clearly that's Yuri's.
she loves blood.
But yeah, those sequences where you're just reading with her in the classroom and she's going deep into her fucking obsession with this book and
Feeding her chocolates on her
you're
delicate
it's
lips.
yeah, it's talking about you're brushing up against her and everything, and you're getting closer, and she starts
doesn't even notice at first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but then when she does, she gets all excited, and you're like, oh god, okay, all right,
Oh, God.
now what?
Get away from me.
She definitely has very, very deep psychological issues, and that was a big reason.
And she's
why
clearly
I picked
obsessive.
her.
She has an obsessive disorder.
Yes.
So she'll never leave you if she's obsessive.
She might.
leaves you in one
just,
way.
You know.
Yeah, I get. Yeah, that was probably the hardest breakup I've ever gone through.
So
we'll talk about that later.
Going that route, you've pretty much already told Natsuki to fuck off. Which she
Oh,
tells you
from
to
the
fuck
start.
off.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
she comes out and says,
She's a
"Oh,
feisty
fuck you.
little
You want to hang
bitch
out
from
with
the
Yuri?
beginning.
You're an asshole." Because Natsuki, she hates Yuri's deep, fucking passionate love of literature, whereas Natsuki is the cutesy manga fan. Manga fan. Manga. And doesn't she go on some rant about how Monica tries to just keep the manga out of the literature club? Is that
Yeah.
Monica who tries to like
Yeah,
call that out?
she bitches about how she moved her manga like every time
Like
you
she,
talk
like,
to
stuck
her.
in the closet.
Right, like
Just
this ain't
get it out
no
of the
bottom
way.
shelf manga right here. What the fuck?
Treating her like her dad. Just makes
I hope not.
spoiler alert, Natsuki's dad beats the fuck out of her like every night for like
Which
an
Monica
anime.
makes known with her. Well, we'll get that's Act 2.
Yeah,
Act two.
I guess,
We'll get into that when we
It's
get
hard
to
to
Act
stay
one.
out of Act 2 because Act 2 is
that's
like
where
the
the fun
greatest
stuff
thing ever.
Oh, dude, yeah. Act 2 is when shit starts to ramp up and like, oh man. Act
But,
1 was just it. You really start to care about it halfway
Yeah,
through.
once you really get into like the second and third poems, you've like their characters are now fleshed out. You know, Yuri is obviously the deep one. Sayori is just everyone's friend.
Yeah,
She just wants
yeah.
everyone to get along, everyone to like each other, while meanwhile on the inside she's fucking torn apart and, you know, depressed as all hell.
Right.
Which, god damn, that was fucked up.
Oh,
I'm,
yeah.
I'm remembering back now to this whole experience of that first playthrough and just how fucking weird it was. When you start realizing that Sayori is this whole other person inside than what she's portraying on the outside, and
she doesn't even like tell you until
no,
the
not
end.
until
I mean,
it's
she gives
like,
you little hints here and there.
Then all of a sudden it just goes over the deep end when you're like at her house and shit, and she's like spilling her guts to you.
Oh, I knew I fucked up when she asked if I had to. I didn't have a choice. I mean, I did have a choice, but I felt like I had to commit to Yuri. And she asked me that, you know, you've been spending a lot of time with Yuri. Would you still walk home every day with me? Or if Yuri asked you, would you walk home with her?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It starts
yeah.
giving you these choices, like Sayori's like making you say these things.
Yeah, and I'm like, in my head, I'm thinking of it like...
Can there not
well,
be an easy option here? Like, I'll walk with both of you.
Yeah, it's not that hard.
the way I took it was, well, it's just one day. It's not like Yuri doesn't live next to me like she does. If I want to hang out for Yuri for a day, I'm not dating Sayori. So I said, yeah, hell yeah, I'd walk with Yuri. No, she immediately walks away
Wrong
and then
answer.
just has a total meltdown.
See, I'm gonna need to play that because I didn't experience the whole meltdown.
She literally,
aspect.
like, it says that she walks 5 steps away from you, like halfway between your house and her house, stops, falls on the ground, and just gutturally screams.
Damn.
And, like, at that point,
Wow.
I was like, damn, I might have killed the wrong one.
And it's then at that point that's when you go to Yuri's house and things start getting weird with her when she's talking about her knife.
I mean, it was cool with me. Yeah, like, you're, like, helping her make banners and stuff.
Yeah.
And, yeah, she's talking. You almost kiss her at that point.
She's trying so desperately hard to fuck you at that point. It's crazy.
well, it's also like because they even make the mention of the sweater sleeve. How she's always covered, her arms are
Well,
always
yeah.
covered and shit. They're
Yeah.
like giving hints about, you know, between the knives and the sleeves. And again, Act 2 is where we figure that out. But she's a cutter.
She's
She's a cutter.
High school's hard, man. High school's hard, you know?
Especially for
a young occult lady like herself.
You know, I never saw Yuri's parents, so I'm pretty convinced she killed him.
Oh,
That
she
could very well
most
be.
definitely, yeah.
They're dead in the
I mean,
basement
she's
somewhere.
into shit like the Eye of Sauron and shit like that. What's the eye called? What is the eye?
The Eye of Markov.
Markov.
I'm so sad I know that. It's wow. I'm like,
Sauron.
Well, she won't shut up about it.
I know that's all she talks about.
The entire time, the Dokis are just trying to throw the One Ring into the Mountain Doom. It's what's happening.
That's all Monica's trying to do.
Yeah, she, you know, just fuck Gandalf.
Wouldn't they have a common goal with Gandalf if they were trying to throw it into the Mountain Doom?
Okay, so at this part, I guess we cover the event, which is is it the day of the festival?
It
Yeah, it's
is
like the
the day
morning.
of
Yeah,
the
you wake up the
festival,
morning of the
yes.
festival and everything's happy. You left. No, didn't you try to wake up Sayori?
Yeah, you try, and then she doesn't come to school. I
She doesn't
think.
answer you, and I think you say something like,
You're just like, oh, she overslept, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah.
Oh,
And you
that's
feel-
Sayori and her
Yeah,
lateness.
yeah.
Yeah, like whatever.
You just dismiss it because you're all hot after Yuri at this point.
Like,
oh, yeah.
oh,
my
friend-
boner
my
ain't
friend's
pointing in that
overslept.
direction, man.
Then you get there and Monica's like, yeah, she never showed up. And you're like, what?
She's just hanging out.
She's like, oh, I thought you walk her to school every day and shit like that. And she's like, oh, I guess you left her hanging. And that's when your character decides to go. And this long, drawn out fucking black screen text of it just won't shut up. You're just like, just show me what's happening. Show me. And finally you open the door and
Just
maybe
distorted music.
play that music right at this part. Like when you open the door and it just fucking explodes in your ears and the visual of Sayori hanging there with bloody fingertips and all the cutesiness in her room, like all the stuffed animals and shit.
Yeah, she's still in her sweater that she was wearing the night, like the one that you like hugged
It's like
her in.
hanging off her shoulder and shit. And
Oh man.
Like the way that they animated that too, like everything in Doki Doki is really vibrant.
Yeah.
And I didn't catch it at first until I saw screen caps of it. But like they went like they made it for anime. They made it realistic. I mean,
with her eyes.
Her eyes are like cataracted
weird.
out.
Yeah.
And they're like grayscale, and her hair's really dim, and her skin's like kind of got that gray tint to it.
Yeah, that's what a corpse looks like.
Yeah. Oh, man, they did it great. I was convinced that I made a mistake somewhere because I was convinced that like. Because you had said the event is unavoidable, obviously, if you want to continue throughout the game. I thought that based on who you ignored or who you showed affection to would be the one to kill themselves. And I really wanted it to be I fucking hated Natsuki. She just like, whenever she came up on my screen, she was giving me a lecture about Yuri. I know what I'm getting into. I know she's crazy. Don't give me a red flag. I know. I see it and I'm going for it.
oh, it's so good. But yeah, fuck. I can't remember what I was going to say. Oh, and that's the moment, the whole thing with, like, after the scene with Sayori, it's like, what, probably seconds before the glitches start. It's like the glitches are already going crazy.
Yep.
You're getting messages saying an exception has occurred, which that exception is, of course, what we won't spoil it right away. Because you've never played it and you're just enjoying us storytelling it almost. But it says to check traceback text in your folder, and that's where
Yeah, see, I
you start to realize you read that and you're like, oh. Because I should have pulled it up and like actually read the damn thing. But it's basically saying this would be so much easier like if they weren't involved.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, and she knows that you and Sayori are good friends, so she's like, oh, well, let me try this. And she pulls it off.
She's like, oh, sorry about that. Like, here, let me make it easier on you. We'll just forget she ever existed.
So yeah, and then from that point, the game just restarts. And it says end, because it has your character saying remorseful things about why he...
Yeah, he's like, I'm not going to no fucking event now, man. My best friend's dead. Nothing matters.
It's like even talking about how it's not a game, I can't restart and stuff like that, and it just goes on, and then it just says end.
I literally did try to restart when Sayori's like hanging herself. I was like, yeah, let's just go back. Let's just go back.
At that point, can you? Like, if you try to load an old save file?
I don't think you can.
Yeah, I think it like...
Because I texted you, I'm like, how do I fix this? And you're like,
yeah,
nah, you can't fix this. Sorry, dude.
Just bear through it now.
Yeah, because like once it restarts and the girls all pop up, then there's the glitched out where Sayori used to be, and you're like, oh, I guess. And then it's like the start game, I think, is glitched out
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you're just like, oh, I guess I have to pick that one. That doesn't make sense.
And then if you try to reload in a past save file, doesn't it? The Monica comes up and like.
I think that's
accuses
later.
you. Oh, is that only
It's
later?
like once you get to a point to where Monica's made it known she's trying to get to you, basically. I think. I'm not totally sure.
It's that first like little the first like 3.5 hours are very like. That's where you set the base of how your game's gonna go.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
past that, yeah.
So yeah, and this is where Act 2 begins.
Yeah. Oh, the fun supernatural.
Right from the get-go, lets you know that this isn't gonna be the same now.
No, because it starts you off with like where Sayori's supposed to be, and it's just all corrupted text and jumping all over the place.
Every time Sayori's name comes up for that first one, it's just not there. Because if you go back and look in the game files,
Because she doesn't exist
she's not there anymore.
No.
She's not in the game files, so...
Isn't it Monica who has to introduce you to the literature
finally
club?
when you get to... Because it does that glitch where it has the black screen and it glitches between Monica and Yuri for a few seconds and then goes right to the classroom and Monica's there and... taking control of things.
Yeah.
Literally.
Messing up my relationship. Oh, Act 2 is so great though, especially when you like.
Because it starts just like Act 1 still.
Yeah, absolutely. Like
There's
the
just
first
no
30
buffer.
minutes. Yeah.
Because Sayori was the buffer.
Yeah, she was the introductory to the game. Like she gives you all the
Yeah.
context.
Because we know how Yuri and Natsuki feel about each other. That's made clear in Act 1.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And without Sayori there,
Because you go through
They
that.
go at each other.
yeah,
dude.
this shit goes fucking crazy fast.
That argument with Yuri and Natsuki happens like 4 different times, at least.
Because
And
they
like,
hate
how long
each
does
other.
it take? Like, because I remember when it starts, it feels like you're just playing through it again for a while. It kind of eases you
Yeah.
back into that
Right,
before
of course,
it really
of course
starts.
It does.
It knows you just dealt with some, especially if you picked Sayori, you're probably dealing with some trauma.
trauma.
So it's like
bit.
easing you back
Yeah.
in. But it's like, I think it's like, what's the first instance to where you really, is it like the text, when the text goes crazy? Fucking Monica, when Natsuki's like, that's like the first instance I remember is when it does the black text with the white middle.
That makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
For
That
me, I
sounds
thought
right.
it was like when you're like reading the book with Yuri, and she's like, "I'm gonna go get some like water or something like that," and you walk out in the hallway.
Isn't that
and
after
hear
the
her
argument though?
Is it?
I think
For some
so.
reason, I remember that before that. I don't know why. It very well might
This
be.
is why I need to play through the game again.
Yeah, I should have done another playthrough last
Yeah.
night.
I should have too.
Because Act 2, I mean, all you remember is the fucked up shit.
That's
Yeah.
pretty
Like the
that's
realistic
like
Yuri
most of what's
eyes.
there.
Yeah.
Though. I mean,
Once
honestly.
it starts going, it's but
You-
it's
you
still,
don't get out of
like
it.
every once in a while it eases you back in, but then it just punches you in the face.
Yep. Right
Oh,
back
yeah.
to
But
the
the
creek
first
shit again.
one of the first moments I remember to where things weren't right was that black text, where it's written over the text that was originally there, and it's, as you've come to find out, it's Monica. And it was like Natsuki wanting to, like, you're in that closet area. And Natsuki's saying something or another, then all of a sudden that black text comes in and it just says "fucking Monica," and so it's like, what the fuck? And that's when that's when she leads you into the closet and you're reading manga together.
Yeah.
And that's when she falls asleep, and then when she comes back up, that's when her eyes go ballistic with the black
Yeah.
squares in her mouth.
And
Does the
a
same
realistic
thing.
mouth talking.
And then it just goes right to a screen of Monica just saying, and this is before Monica's kind of made it known that she's in control. But Natsuki just gets hungry, and she like throws her a protein bar, and Natsuki just eats it like a monster. And that was kind of where I had my first hint that Monica knows more than she should probably.
So you went into the closet with Natsuki? Wow, that sounds really bad. You went into the closet with a child?
But I don't know. Because again, without going Yuri's route, I was kind of forced into the Natsuki thing, I think.
Right, yeah, pretty much. You got basically 2 options because
Yeah, by
Sayori's
then,
going to be
'cause-
dead.
yeah.
Sayori doesn't even exist in Act 2.
Because I don't remember dealing, because I didn't get the sequence I think that you were going to where she goes out to get tea or some shit.
Yes.
And then you go out looking for her, and that's when you see the cuts.
I
on her
did get
arm.
that, yeah.
See, I never got that, and I think that's because I did not go Yuri's route that first time.
For me, the closet scene happened with a little bit similar. I don't remember why we were over in the closet, but we were over in the closet. It was me and Yuri, right? And she basically tells you that her heart's like going super crazy.
And that's when the eyes.
Yeah, and then the
start
eyes, the
happening.
realistic eyes pop out, and she's like looking everywhere. She's like, "I just can't take my eyes off of you," and I'm like, "All right, mission complete. Like I'm where I need to be."
No, that's not it. Never mind. I'm still trying to figure out how I got to that first glitch text sequence, but I just need to play the damn thing.
I was
But either way,
saying,
we got to talk about the argument, because that's when shit
gets real.
Yeah, that's when, because it's the sequence to where in Act 1 they're just talking back and forth at each other, and it doesn't get too crazy because Sayori's there to butt in and be everyone's friend.
Right, yeah.
Whereas when they start getting more crazy or yelling at each other and getting very personal, Monica attempts to butt in, and they both just yells like, "Stay out of this, fucking Monica!" or something
Yeah.
like that. And Monica just like, "Fuck it," and goes away and just lets shit devolve.
I don't know. In my playthrough, I eventually went out with Monica. Like one of those argument sequences.
That's the end of the argument. It's finally,
is that it? Yeah.
It finally gets to the point to where like that's when Monica's face just shows up real close to you.
Yeah.
Because when that's what when they're yelling back and forth and the music starts going haywire and the screen starts getting staticky and they start popping out at the screen that's when like. Oh, don't cut yourself with that edge, Yuri, because she's like fucking edgy.
Man.
She's like, well, you're so edgy. Don't cut yourself with that edge. And then Yuri's like, did you just accuse me of cutting myself and all this shit?
And she fires back.
Nobody would cry if you killed yourself.
Yeah, shit like that.
When I read that, I was like, holy shit, we went there. That's my girl.
And then it gets to the point to where like then it was like choose.
Yeah.
It's like Yuri or Natsuki, and you're like each time you click one, it just gets closer and closer and closer, and like you're just like freaking out at this point. If someone with anxiety, I can imagine just about losing their shit.
You're
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Because that music is just going at the speed of light. I remember, and it's all like skippy sounding, and then all of a sudden, just boom, Monica, right in your face,
just out of nowhere.
And then she's like, let's go out in the hallway. And basically, she's just like, I don't remember what she says, but just talking about how those two need to cool off and shit. And
yeah.
then the next day, Natsuki doesn't remember a thing about it apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got
fuck?
wife. Yeah, they're like super cool. Well, they're not like super cool, but like they get along. And
Yeah, it's clear that something has happened.
was reset somewhere. Yeah. Oh man, that was such a good sequence though. You do that sequence a lot.
But that's like the second kind of trigger of the game, because that's where I think Monica really realizes she needs to take complete control over this thing.
Yeah, because she even mentions like how you were saying where things just aren't the same without Sayori, and she's like, Sayori was always the moderator.
Sayori was the balance in the group, and without her there, chaos reigns.
That is kind of like where Monica starts getting a little bit crazier too.
Well, Monica, that's where like how in our first take, where she just starts becoming exasperated with him. She's just like, what a fucking bunch of drama queens, and she's like, you can just tell, like even like the expression on her face is just her like, oh god,
These guys.
But yeah, it's like I think it's the scene. I can't remember what scene it is in Act 1. What it leads to. It might be when you're choosing whether to go with Sayori or Yuri or something to work with them for the festival.
Right.
And Yuri just won't fucking let up. She just keeps like talking about how great you are and things, and Monica's finally like,
well, yeah,
fuck it, God, just shut up, and just skips to the poem. She's like, just cuts the game off there, and you're like right in the middle of a sentence that Yuri's saying, it just goes right to the poem, and you're like, oh, okay.
Works for me.
I think we know who's in charge now.
Taken over.
And is that I think that also might be the poem to where the glitched option occurs. Maybe. Is that like, I don't know if that's the second or third poem.
Yeah, it might be. Yeah, I don't think I got it because in the, like you were saying, I think in the first, like as it reintroduces you to Act 2, it pretty much plays as normal until that stuff starts going
the
haywire.
Argument really triggers things in a way.
But like
shit
all
goes
people,
downhill
it
from there,
escalates. Like all people, when I saw that glitched option, I immediately clicked on it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
What are you
can't,
do?
like, you pick something else.
And
That's
you know
stupid.
it's not going to end well, but it still jump scares you because it's like...
Oh, yeah. It changes
like,
your whole screen.
Isn't it that glitched out Yuri face as well that shows up later with
all like
the bloody eye?
Yeah.
Oh, does it have the little cutout of her? Is that...
Yeah, where it's like a white face.
And her eyes
like
are bleeding
smiling.
and shit.
Yeah, her eyes are bleeding.
Right. Fuck, I need to play it again.
She looked beautiful.
She looked beautiful. God, she's so your waifu.
I told my girlfriend that if anything ever happened to us, I'm buying a Yuri waifu pillow, and that
I was gonna say she's going to listen to this podcast.
Oh fuck yeah, she is. I last night I was like, I'm just gonna apologize right now for anything I might say about my real girlfriend.
Your purple-haired emo.
My big titty goth girlfriend.
Big titty goth girlfriend. Oh god.
BT double G, dude.
So where does it go from here? I don't remember.
Well, so that's pretty much like is Act 3 all just Monica?
Yeah, that's just Act 2 ends with
so we still
Yuri
got
killing herself.
Oh no,
crazy person.
Yeah.
So there's the in between, like everything else. I mean, basically the second see, I got more of the Natsuki stuff. I saw the thing where Natsuki's eyes start bleeding and she's saying, play with me, play with me, play with me. And then her neck snaps and shoots right towards you. And again, as we were saying before, I don't know if that's the actual end of Natsuki's storyline per se.
So did Yuri kill herself in your playthrough in the same way?
Yeah, that's unavoidable. It's like Sayori.
So she expressed her love to you as well.
She asked me if I accepted her confession. I did not.
I didn't either.
I was like, why would I accept everything you just said to me after you've given me a poem endowed with your scent?
I thought that was the sweetest fucking thing on the planet, right? Because she took the time to write you this poem all in gibberish. Apparently the last part of
it's actually
legible.
Not in gibberish. It's there's an actual mental disorder, and it existed a lot, I guess, in ancient times, where they just write over their writing.
Really?
It's like, they're just like, they write it and then they write over it again. They keep writing over the same thing. They can tell, they know what they're doing, apparently. They know what they're writing. Somehow.
Really? Yuri's just so crazy that.
Yeah, there's a name for it. Because I remember looking into that. And so.
That's cool.
Oh, that was like one of my favorite poems.
That's
ever.
that's like how in depth this game is, though. Like every little detail is so genius in a way.
Oh, yeah. I mean, everything
Except
down
for
to the character.
Doubting with the scent thing. That was disturbing.
That was awesome.
Because again, I thought it was tea. So like, she's like, oh, she's always going out for tea. She must have, she was obviously cutting herself and bled on the paper.
It's like you take it, you like tea. Lick the page. You're like, oh, it's just tea, man.
but then again, when she says the phrase, I endowed it with my scent, you're like, well, that's not just that. The blood's not the scent.
See, that was the moment for me where I was like, yeah, I made the right choice.
I made the right choice.
She's talking about how she stuck she wrote it with the pen that fell out of my backpack.
That she then
touched herself with it.
She admits to touching herself
and
with.
I was the happiest man alive.
But even before that, she's fucking crazy. And the whole sequence to where she like makes you put your hand on her chest because her heart's beating so fast and you can hear her heartbeat and everything. And like the music's like all hollowed out and just pushed into the background, and it's another very uncomfortable sequence.
The music definitely makes that game.
Yeah.
For sure.
And a lot of the times it's just variants of the same songs. They just either distort it, put it through some filter. The worst one for me is the Play With Me. I can't remember how it goes, but they like cycle it through, and that's the one. I think it's I don't remember which one. The one where they make it sound like a circus, like a music box that's being played too fast.
Oh,
the scene with Yuri's glitched out face when the blood pop happens.
Yeah, I was gonna say when it's ramping up.
But it only, you don't have control over that scene. You can't click out of it. It just happens, plays really quickly, pop, and then you're back to Yuri being fucking crazy. So it like is like I remember like that was a jump scare for me. That freaked me out when that whole thing happened because the music and Yuri's fucking pupil.
I wish I could have gotten the event where her pupil just drifts off of her face and just.
Well, at least it was normal anime eyes. I love the realistic pupil in the fucking anime. That just shouldn't exist.
And they're floating in different directions.
It's the freakiest thing I've ever seen.
Looking everywhere.
I was actually out on one of my nightly walks one night, and that fucking image just got in my head, and I couldn't get it out. That's like the lasting thing that stuck with me. Of all things that scare you in that game, it's the realistic pupils and anime eyes.
You didn't get lost in my waifu's eyes?
No.
I sure shit did.
It's easy to do, man.
That was terrible, especially when she's right there in your face. And those pupils are like huge, and like they're just like darting around as she like
You were
talks
looking at her
about
pupils?
What's all you can see? This is like when she zoomed in on you.
I'm just busting.
And it's like she's like even like half like faded out and shit. It looks like, and the music's fucked up, and she's saying things that I don't want to read.
But you should.
So I did.
I took everything she said as like word of God. If she was on my screen, I'd stop what I was doing and I'm reading it. But if it was Natsuki, it's just because they won't let you skip if you haven't like experienced the text yet. Yeah. So like I just rapidly click like just get off, get out, get out.
And again, when I played it,
Natsuki.
I knew I went in because I had discovered it just randomly here at work, and I read too much into it. So I knew about Sayori and I knew about Monica. I didn't know the extent of Monica. I just knew she was
Like the overseer.
well. I
of
knew
it.
she knew what was happening. What's the word? I had it earlier and now I can't think of it. She's sentient.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I knew that, but I didn't know she was completely coding and recoding the game as it went along. And I didn't know about Yuri. I didn't know that when
really?
Yuri said, "Do you accept my confession?" that what was going to happen was going to play out. I had no clue.
I honestly thought that was going to be my end game. I was like, I did it. Awesome. This is cool. I got the one that I wanted. This is great. I go to hit yes. She starts stabbing herself. And I'm like,
So
no,
unexpected.
I was genuinely upset.
And the music's weird too. There, it's like a weird squealing kind of noise. I can't explain it.
I'm pretty sure
And like
she's-
just the sound of the knife going into her thump.
her face made it so great when she's got that.
She's got that
She's just
smile.
like fucking having the best time of her life while she's stabbing herself in the chest with a butcher knife like fucking 50 times.
And like a second after the second stab to the heart, her eyes just roll back in her head and she drops, and just the thud of her dropping. And again, that's if you had looked into your game files right before that, when Monica's warning you clearly that Yuri's crazy, you shouldn't spend so much time with her. She's saying this to you, is like, just stop hanging out with Yuri. It's clear she has problems. And this is also after the Natsuki poem. When she's the whole poem's just about, I'm worried about Yuri. She's been acting weird.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah,
Oh,
she's got that
man,
little
yeah.
secret message in there,
And
like,
then-
don't tell Monica what you're reading.
And then after that, Monica's like, "Oh, you fucking bitch," and Monica's and then it goes to the Monica black text is like, "Never mind, I didn't mean any of that," and something along those
yeah, like
lines.
something like everything's normal
Yeah.
and you don't have to worry or something like
nothing
that.
to see here.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, hush, hush, lizard people.
Yuri'll be fine. And then the Yuri sequence. But when Monica is warning you and you decide anyway for like a split second in your game folder, it's a folder titled "Have a nice weekend."
And you gotta spend all weekend with her.
Yep.
It took me so long to figure that out. I didn't realize that I actually had to like stick with her the whole weekend. I didn't skip for like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
I just straight clicked.
Staring at her blood slowly drying up
So peaceful.
over days, her eyes like becoming translucent and shit.
It was my last
so
moments
fucked
with her.
up.
I wanted to, enjoy
like
it.
the moment when like her, you can see her cheeks start to sink in and shit. That was when I was like, "Fuck, this is gross."
Yeah. Yeah. Natsuki comes in after the weekend.
And it goes through.
starts throwing
It
up.
goes through day cycles. I mean, it goes through morning, night, evening, and does it 3 times, or I guess 2.5 times. You don't have to go through the evening
Yeah.
of Friday,
Yeah, and then you go through Saturday and Sunday.
and that's essentially the end of Act 2. Because from there, Monica's just like, "Fuck it."
Yeah, she's taken over at that point. She took the wheel. I think that starts off pretty early on in Act 3, doesn't it? You
Well,
do like
Act
2 of
3
the
is
poems?
basically Natsuki puking after seeing the corpse of Yuri, and then when Monica shows in, she's like, "Oh, hey, how's it going?" And she's like, "Oh." What's she say? Like something about, "Oh, that's too bad."
Yeah, like she just brushes it. She says something along the lines of like, I'm sorry, that must have been a problem in the coding. I'm sorry for the inconvenience.
It's like, "Did you have to spend your whole weekend here with her like that?" And then she's like, "Oh, I'll make it up to you." And that's when the text thing pops up, the coding text, and it's like, Yuri.chr, delete. Natsuki.chr, delete. And then she starts eating Natsuki's cupcakes, and Natsuki's name doesn't exist anymore in the text. And what did she say? Something about how these won't exist anymore. Or
Oh,
something
so you
pretty
better
soon.
enjoy them
Yeah.
while they last or something like that. Yeah, that's like when you first get into her little like time and space room, isn't it?
No, that's
Right?
still in the
No.
classroom.
Is that
That's
still in
before
the
she's
classroom?
restarted the game, because she wants to enjoy the cupcakes one last time.
Right.
Because
That
she
Natsuki
loves.
did it
I mean,
good
as she
for
says
you.
later, she loves the literature club. It's just that she was trapped.
with you.
Which I guess we should get into Monica. I mean, if we're doing a Doki Doki.
Yeah, I mean that's
thing.
your waifu.
What's the whole thing of just like, it starts right from the get-go. She's giving you hints that she's
I'm looking
caught
through
on
the computer screen
Yeah.
in her poem, and she's talking about like the strange noises behind the screen or something like that. She's like describing your quote unquote room.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's like even in Act 1, you know, she's breaking the fourth wall. It's just not obvious.
Yeah, you don't know until, you know, the next couple of acts, and then you fucking know what's going on.
That moment when she decides she has to take things into her own hands is the Sayori event. That's the first thing she changes in the game. Because that's why I need to go back and reread all those poems, especially from Monica, because I know there's like hints in each one of them.
She's got one of the poems that, I don't know the name of the poem, but it literally in various points of the poem, it just says delete them all.
Yeah.
Or like delete or something like that.
There's I think there's like letters missing from some of the words, I think.
Yeah.
In that poem. It sounds familiar to me.
That makes sense.
Because I definitely read through that and I was like, all of her poems are like computer based. They're all code based.
Because doesn't it also say save him, delete them all or something like that?
And then save him or something like that. Really, the only ones I actually like paid attention to was Yuri's. I like the raccoon. I love that poem.
My favorite.
Yeah, the raddest baddest Doki over here.
You use that in a school project.
Hell yeah,
I had to redo this podcast now.
Yeah, thanks to Monica.
God damn it.
Corrupting our file, our microphone.
Right, yeah. Monica turned off mic 3.
But I would be interested in going back and playing the first act just to see if Monica in her text hints at the fact that she knows what's going on and everything.
Because, I mean, when you go through in Act 3 and Sayori takes over as the quote-unquote, like, Senia overseer, like, she's not cool with it from the start. And she's just like, no, this is weird. I'm, like, self-aware of everything. Yeah. And, like, I wonder if that's how Monica felt. And, like, that's when, like, she started to go, like, batshit crazy.
But in the end, Sayori still wants to just spend her life with you, though. Yeah, she's like talking about, it spells out like we will be here forever, and it's like FOR, and then Monica shows up at the last second again. She's like, you won't do this to him. But Monica's poems are fun in the second act because it's clearly her coding the game.
Oh, entirely.
Yeah, she's like trying to rewrite things, and again, did I show you the screenshot of? I don't know if I showed you guys a screenshot of the escape plan thing or not.
No, we were talking about it, but I don't think you ever did, because I completely missed all of that stuff.
Because again, the first time I saw, because I've played through Act 2 twice. Because I was like, why would I play through Act 1 again? I don't want to do that. So
did you reload a save?
I just skipped through it all.
You just skipped through it all. Okay.
Which you can't do now with this update. Apparently, you have to do the poems, I guess.
Really? Oh yeah, because it won't let you force skip them.
Yeah, but fuck, where was I going with that?
With the
First time I saw it, it was just like the color glitches, and she's like on the screen with them, and she's like, "Oh, I messed that up" or something along those lines. But then I got Windows 10. So the second time it happened, it went to the Windows 10 failure blue screen, and at the bottom it says like failure, Monica's escape plan and shit. And that's like, it was her, that was like her last resort before killing Yuri, basically. It's like either I get out here or I'm just gonna have to fucking kill the rest of them and at least be with them here like that. Which is Act 3, which is just Monica.
Yep. Just Monica. No, I used a nickname and it still pulled even though my computer I'm not going to go into it because it's a long, stupid story, but my computer, I wasn't able to use my real name when creating the like administrator account for it, so I had to use Dave Pontius instead of Austin Pontius. I then used Poncho, which is a nickname for that, so there's nothing in my computer that has my actual name on it. Somehow she was able to pull it, so I don't know if she pulled it and used it from like some kind of like file storage I had somewhere that might have had my name on it. I don't know, but I know the raddest baddest Doki, it used your email, didn't it?
Yeah, because I used goddamn Steam. Yeah. They were like, okay, so this is a account, so this must be his goddamn name. Makes some sense.
That really breaks the whole immersion. I
don't
only
use Steam.
Okay, so this is the screen it gives you when you have Windows 10. It says your PC ran into a problem and needs to restart. We're just collecting some error info, and then we'll restart for you. 0% complete. If you'd like to know more, you can search online later for this error. DDLC_escape_plan_failed. And then it's in after that Monica shows up on the screen over it.
Does it even have the little frowny face up top?
That's
That's the actual screen. That's a screenshot of it.
That's awesome, dude.
Oh, that's great. This game is so, like, it's so well thought out.
Yeah.
And there's so much detail in every little thing. And you have to constantly, you don't have to, but if you want the full experience, flip in between the game and your file folder at periodic points. Yeah,
because Monica's communicating with you the entire time.
I know I missed a ton of stuff. I know I did.
You know why? Because of fucking Steam. That's why.
How hard of a process was that for you to get into your file bed through
I
Steam?
couldn't find any of them.
At all?
No, I'd play through again on the DDLC.mo download, and that's how I know any of this shit.
Man, that really fucked up your experience.
It
then.
did, man.
And it also makes it harder for however they get your data to where it's just when it's just you and Monica, I guess. That's why the email thing. Towards mine is like, she's like, oh, hi, Jason Hayes. I'm like, what the fuck do you know?
She did the same to me.
Like,
yeah, and I was so like, I wasn't expecting that at all. I was flabbergasted. I was like,
Yeah, it freaked me
holy
out.
shit, like, where'd she get that
it's
from?
because she got it from the what my computer is named. It's just my name.
That's what I thought, but my computer isn't named me, so I don't know where she pulled mine from. Because my computer's under Dave for whatever stupid reason.
I have no idea.
Yeah, so there's got to be like a backup that she can like look through, or I don't know why she wouldn't have just said like, "Oh, hey, Dave," because
she knows, dude.
I'm telling you, yeah, she's
not just
And
in your
doesn't she
computer.
also
She's in your head, man.
Doesn't she also say that you're playing on Steam if you are?
Yeah.
Yeah, she mentions that too.
just like if she knows how you're live streaming.
Yeah,
she'll
and then she'll
jump scare you and say it's not nice to record people
Yeah.
without their permission.
That's
That's hilarious,
so good.
dude.
Oh, that game is great. I really hope that Dan Salvato, this is just like one big hype up.
Yeah, I
for
hope
his next
this
game.
whatever, I can't remember the name of it's the name of the picture of the woman you find in the files.
It's something with an L, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like
Libertina,
Libertina.
something
Yeah,
like
something
that.
like that. Yeah.
I hope the 4 characters are somehow involved with the next project.
Oh, absolutely. I'm still gonna pick Yuri because you know
I'm still gonna pick Eric.
you know Yuri's gonna have the best like perks for going with her.
That's what you could call it, you know, perks.
Yeah, I like her for her personality.
She has a rather big personality.
Huge personality that showed up when I started showing up.
I don't even care that there's tissues in her personality, dude.
That was never proven nor disproven.
Wasn't that something Natsuki said?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah, she goes when it's always in their fight. They like nab at each other. You know, the no one would cry if you killed yourself.
Yeah.
You only got tits when he started showing up. There's the don't cut yourself on that edge.
That was such a great line. God, every playthrough I've watched of someone seeing that for the first time, when this says the "don't cut yourself on that edge," they just fucking lose it. Because it's fucking hysterical.
I was just sitting there playing a game, man. Then they come at me with this shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my god.
It's like makes you respect Natsuki a little bit.
It's like in that.
This girl's got some balls on her.
She's
It's
a
like-
fucking
she's-
angry child.
She's used to taking shit from her dad.
Yeah.
She's not gonna take shit from no one else. But it's like in the first act on your first day going into the Doki Doki Literature Club, and your character says something along the lines of like, "Well, here it is. Today's the day I sold my soul for a cupcake." And then if you go through it in Act 2, when Monica introduces you to the club,
Yeah, I
or
sold
when
my
she's
soul for Monica,
Yeah, it's like,
basically.
yeah, here's the day I sold my soul for like Monica, the most athletic or the most popular girl in school or something like that. I'm like, I mean, yeah, kind of.
Well, it's because you don't know yet.
Yeah,
You don't
yeah,
know-
exactly, yeah.
You don't know that that's what she wants.
Oh yeah, that's all
wants your soul.
Yeah, she wants your soul. She just wants to spend time with you and hang out with you. She wants to get to know you and write poems with you.
That's all.
Tell you repetitory information.
I can't believe we missed this. We didn't bring up Sayori's last poem.
Oh no, we
Totally forgot about Sayori's last poem.
The get out of my head
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh, yeah, it's just like, get out, get out, get out. Like, oh my fucking
It's like, I'm doing this because I know it's best for you and shit. And this is like right before she kills herself.
She doesn't even give it to you. Monica
No,
gives
Monica-
it to
yeah,
you,
Monica's the
right?
one.
Yeah. And
It
she's-
wasn't suicide, it was murder. Facts.
my love
Not
for
according
Yuri
to Monica.
murdered.
Monica says that she just didn't jump high enough.
Monica is a murderer.
But yes, you sat through just Monica and read every line of text. You said.
Unfortunately, yeah. I'm not proud of that.
That bitch is evil.
I didn't. I knew to delete her immediately, so I pretty much deleted her within seconds. I felt bad doing it.
Oh, I didn't. I didn't at all. At that point, I was so fed up with her talking to me, and I was like, because at that point, right?
He just
Yuri's
killed
dead.
your BT double G,
Yeah,
dude.
My BT double G's dead. Fucking Natsuki's dead, so that's cool, I guess. I don't have a.
She just got
complaint with
deleted.
that. Yeah, Sayori's deleted. Yeah, they're essentially all deleted, so they don't exist. It's just me and Monica at that point. And I went through a good 45 minutes before I caught on to the fact that I manually have to delete her. And at that point, she had already started like.
Well, she's like
repeating herself.
bragging. She's like bragging about how easy it was to delete.
You're
them
like,
and
oh yeah,
everything.
yeah.
Point.
So how exactly did you do that? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
What
that's
the
like
fuck
the
did you just
clue.
do to me?
To me, that was the clue to like, okay, I have to delete her now. That's the whole point of this.
I had it in my head that you could do it. I don't know what I was thinking, but I was just like, well, she's still talking to me, so maybe there's something important here.
Yeah.
So I just kept going through it, and she tells you a little bit about like Sayori, about how, oh yeah, she didn't jump high enough, so her neck didn't break, and her fingers are all bloody because she basically suffocated to death. And at that point, I was like, oh shit, we're getting into some deep stuff. So like, I thought I'd go a little bit farther, and
it
there's
just feels
really nothing.
mundane, everyday stuff at some point, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that's when
something
I'm
like
like, okay, bitch, later.
Yeah, just Monica delete, and she gets all mad at you and upset, and oh, I can't believe
It's
you
like,
done
I hate
this
you
to
so
me.
much.
No, I don't.
I love
I
you.
didn't mean that.
And that's when she restores. She gives you back your waifu.
Yeah, only temporarily, and she's like, no, this just isn't working, or like,
Because someone still needs to be in control of the literature club.
is that when
now it's Sayori.
Yeah, that's when Sayori.
Yeah, she becomes the
takes over.
president of the literature club. With that responsibility comes the sentient knowledge that Sayori soon realizes that, oh, I'm Monica now.
I wonder if she like remembers killing herself. Once
She says
becomes
she knows
sentient.
what Monica did. She says, I remember everything Monica did. And
Oh,
all this.
does
So
she?
yeah, so she has a pretty good idea about that.
And then that's when she turns it on its head and she like starts to take. She basically is starting to delete everything at that
As
point.
well.
But Monica refuses to let her. Monica comes back, deletes pretty much the entire game at that point, which is hilarious because the game is just broken.
Oh,
yeah.
As a
God.
playable entity, you can't do
Yeah.
it anymore. It's done. And then you get the credit sequence. Then you get the Monica actually coming in and playing her song for you, and you actually hear her voice and everything, and it's adorable.
her piano that she's been practicing the whole time.
Yeah, which is her watching you. I think it's a theory. It hasn't been proven that is actually a true
I think
statement.
I agree
there's
with it.
probably some good evidence for that.
I mean, look at how thought out everything else is.
Yeah.
I feel like that was
And they
just
made it a
lined
point
up.
to point out the piano thing pretty early on.
Right.
Right,
One.
yeah. I was
You
taking
know.
up piano, and then
Yeah.
you hear do 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 do.
And everybody's like, yeah, and everybody's just like, well, we've never even like seen you play piano. We've never heard piano or nothing like that. She's like, yeah, I'm not very good at it. And yeah, it's just the same like little riff over and over
Yeah.
again.
So the
It's
theory
so
is
catchy.
that when the piano plays, Monica is watching and taking control of events. Which to me, it seems like she would always be.
Right, yeah.
Right.
She's like, oh,
That's why I don't know if it's I don't know if it can be proven or not, because it seems like Monica's always there. And
Yeah, does
Always
she ever
fucking
leave?
with
Yeah.
things.
I mean, she's not really there. Well, I mean, yeah, there's still the piano going when she pops up with Yuri after you find Yuri cutting herself and whatnot. And she like overcasts her image over Yuri.
yeah,
You like over in the water fountain.
God, that was awesome.
Oh, dude, it's so great.
I love it so much. See, I didn't see that my first playthrough because I I avoided Yuri.
Because
that's
you
why.
avoided the BT double G.
Fuck.
That, like,
She's a psychopath.
Nah, man. Well, yeah.
yeah.
But the second time, I didn't get it to where like you have the deja vu sequence where it does it twice. And like,
Oh, really?
I think Yuri even says something like, "Oh, it's like deja vu" or something like that.
Uh-huh, yeah.
I think that's what
remember
triggers
that, yeah.
Monica showing up. Is if it happens twice, all of a sudden Yuri just starts rambling like a crazy person, and then Monica starts to superimpose herself over her and the speech bubble. Which to me, that's like Monica basically driving Yuri crazy
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
she's
I mean, she
talking
even-
crazier and crazier as it goes.
Yeah, she mentions that she like boosted.
Yeah,
the
she turned up
personality
her
trait.
craziness.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I'd
Yeah.
forgotten about that.
Which it makes me really excited because I hope for this next game, if they do use those same characters, that why would a visual novel have, like, you know, obviously it's there for narrative.
Yeah.
But I really hope, like, in the later games, it's there for, like, yeah, they really do have, like, personality. Like, you can alter that and you can play with it. Because I want to make her as crazy as possible in the next game.
Ramp it up.
You'd be done in one act, dude. You'd be like, everyone's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go on a huge, chaotic, evil murder spree here with Yuri. And
They all just start a fucking suicide cult and kill themselves, and then you're done.
And even like that poster of Yuri's fucking creepy as shit.
oh, where she's got all those red, like, I don't even know
Both
what
of the
you call it.
posters. The one
Yeah.
where she's sitting there with the eye of Markov like painted on the wall, and she's
love
like
that picture.
poking a knife into her fingertip, and
love that
just
picture.
like Jesus Christ, she's fucking crazy. Some people theorize that she's the one in control.
Really?
Oh, that would throw us for a loop, man.
Like the whole eye of Markov thing is like a whole other. She's like a witch basically.
I'd believe it. That chick's crazy.
So
She,
again, this is something
it's
I
all
read somewhere.
speculation.
Yeah.
But that'd be
That'd be a cool twist, man.
But
I
yeah,
don't
like
know.
how
I
they
that.
have, like you were taking with the posters, it's like some kind of crimson blossom coming out of her heart, and all the strings that come from it are tying up the other chicks. Like I think one's around Sayori's neck,
I think so, yeah. and-
Natsuki, I don't remember, and then like Monica, it's somehow tied to her. Like, but it's all coming from Yuri.
Yeah, Yuri. If you put them
Yeah.
all together, Yuri's the center of it,
Yeah.
and they all just wrap around. And
So you never know. It could be Yuri who was in
I-
control.
I hope
Probably
it was.
is, man. You give me that evidence, man. I think it's Yuri. Yuri's an evil bitch now.
evil.
Monica knew she had to get rid of Yuri because she's fucking crazy.
Yeah,
And she
but
was
you gotta have the
possibly
balance.
homicidal. Because there are a few moments there where you're kind of thinking Yuri might be a serial killer.
And that Suki's gonna die.
But that's a whole nother thing with the whole hidden things in the files in the game and binary codes.
Oh, that's such a huge.
Somebody
yeah.
sit down and translate all of that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
somebody did.
they're out there.
Yeah, somebody did.
And it
Probably
leads
not all
to
the
that.
same person.
Leads to some
but-
website that has all this information on this Libitina project and shit, and it sounds like something out of one of Yuri's books.
Oh, I can't
Oh,
wait.
man.
Have you
I
read? Have
can't
you read that text page? about
Not
it?
in a while. I've glanced through it, like through like when you were sending me all the like secrets and stuff and like breakdown videos and all that. I like went and like briefly checked it out, and like it's been so long.
Yeah, I took a nice long break from it, and I think it's time to go back and play it again.
Oh,
Because all
yeah.
I've been doing is hearing your guys' experiences of it ever since I introduced it to this radio station, and that's been fun for me.
Did you
so.
ever go Yuri in a playthrough, or did you always avoid Yuri?
I got dragged into Yuri's at one point. That's how I got the cutting sequence.
Right.
Are you forced to do that, or you just open the? Can you avoid that cutting sequence?
I think you can avoid the cutting sequence because I didn't get it on my first playthrough.
No. Okay. See, me and Jesse both went Yuri, which
See, I went heavily Sayori in Act 1.
really,
Yeah. Big time. Because I was avoiding Yuri and Natsuki wasn't giving me shit other than fucking nursery rhymes.
Nah,
Right.
So it's like, I got nothing here.
it's literally like child babble.
Yeah.
talking to her.
And the whole time they're
Spiders.
like, no, this isn't stupid. This is different. We're gonna put this on the
But
fridge.
if you go back and look at it now, that shit is dark though.
it actually does have some meaning to
Yeah,
it.
it's
if
like once you
look
realize
through it.
what Natsuki's life is like, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, this is a depressing fucking existence this girl's leading.
Oh yeah,
But
I mean, her dad beats the shit out of her,
and doesn't feed her. That's
Yeah,
why she
yeah,
looks
that's
the
why
way
she-
she does.
Yeah.
Whereas Yuri is obviously well fed.
oh,
Lots of milk products.
Yeah, I was gonna say she didn't skip a glass of milk growing up at all. She is one corn-fed goth girl, that's for sure.
Oh, good times. I'm so glad this game exists.
Oh, it's great. It's beautiful.
I've never experienced anything like it. I've been gaming since 1986, and I've never been fucked with by a game.
It is literally creepypasta the game. Like, you nailed it on the head. I was putting it off a little bit when you were like hyping it up, telling me to play it. I was like, yeah, I'll get to it if I have time.
Took him like
you know,
3 weeks, dude.
It's like next thing I know, you're fucking obsessed with it.
That's what happens, dude.
It was overnight. I downloaded it here. I went home and I played it, and the next morning,
Well, it took over the internet for a while there. Like all the YouTube, I don't know if you call them vloggers or some shit. Especially once you do playthroughs, everyone's playing Doki, everyone's doing their reaction videos and shit, and it's fun. The one with that chick who I don't remember her name that we watched.
The one who like just absolutely like can't
terrified.
do it. Yeah.
At one point she's like, I just want Yuri gone. I don't want Yuri around me anymore. She's like, turn on the lights and everything, and she's like, when's dawn? Because she's trying to do a straight playthrough, and she like is just totally getting fucked with. It's hilarious.
Dude, she melts down.
Yeah.
She cannot. It's
Oh, man,
great.
I wanna see that.
Yeah, you got to watch it when you have a chance. We
Like
can
she
never
has a video where
remember
it's
her
just
name.
all of her. She gets every one of the fucking Easter eggs. Like that's how I saw the Yuri eye moving across the screen the first time. It's like, what the fuck is that? And she doesn't notice it at first, and like all of a sudden now it's off her head. She's like, oh.
Yeah. It just keeps going super slow.
And she's just like stone faced, like watching it. She's like, she doesn't say a word or anything. It's hilarious. If you're not gonna play it, at least watch playthroughs of it because it's worth it.
Yeah. It's really not that big of a commitment. It's like a 6-hour commitment at
It's
best.
not fucking Xenoblade Chronicles, and I think I just crossed the 160-hour threshold.
Yeah, that's our discussion on Doki Doki. I think we covered quite a bit.
And the sad thing is, there's more there.
Yeah,
we
there's so much more.
everything.
We could do a part 2, 3,
We didn't even
4,
talk about
5.
the Easter eggs.
If you wanted more, play the damn game yourself.
Yeah, we shouldn't give all the spoilers.
Yeah, that's true.
And the
yeah.
Easter eggs are the best part of the game in some instances because
They're hard to
really
get.
fucked up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like just learning that the gif of Natsuki's eyes exploding out of her.
Yeah, I've never
What the hell
even
was
seen
that?
that.
And didn't they say that happened? Did they say it happened in Act 2?
I think so. I remember me and you were watching a video. RadBad Doki might have been there too, where we literally sat down one day and spent like a good hour just watching Doki Doki videos of like all the rare occurrences. I never remember seeing that one in there.
Yeah, and I never got the red screen with the squishy meat noises either. Still
I
to
got
this day,
that.
I've never gotten.
Yeah,
I
I've
never
gotten
got that.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds sick.
It's
I want
weird.
that.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just
it's right over Monica. Yeah.
That's fucking gnarly.
Well, apparently, you know what happens just on random scenes.
Oh, really? It's not a
Apparently,
set.
just randomly happens.
Yeah, I got mine during when Monica was talking about some.
And
bullshit.
I'm the only one who got the startup screen of Doom, where it's them all blacked out and their eyes are all black and shit.
Yeah, I definitely didn't get
I didn't
that.
get
Fucking
no.
creeped the shit out of
That
me.
was a startup. Like
Yeah,
when you
it just happens
launch
like
the
right
game?
when you start the game. It says something different, and to start it, I remember, rather than this game is not suitable for children.
Or if
And
you have
then all of a
depression.
sudden, it's like just them with drawn and sketchy black outlines and black eyes, and when you hit
that's
start,
cool.
just Monica's face just comes right at you.
Oh my god.
Freaky shit!
Shit your pants.
I nearly did.
Is that a like past Act 1, right?
Yes,
like you have
that's
to,
after the
you have
game
to,
is
You have to
glitched, yeah.
restart it and glitch it. Yeah.
None of the Easter eggs occur until Monica kills Sayori.
Yeah, because that's when shit's not innocent anymore.
No.
And you're like, man, I wish we could go back to the innocent girl.
And so yeah,
I'm just here to date anime girls.
I'm just here. Yeah, I'm just here to be a weeaboo and do weeb shit. The yuppie I am.
and I now have a poster of Monica in my office.
Oh, it's beautiful. I need to get a framed Yuri. Oh.
And again, and then I thought that the Team Salvado deserved some of my money for giving me this experience, so that's why I bought the merch. And I hope
they
other
nailed
people
it.
did so. I hope other people did. Actually, I guess you can have the option to pay for the game when you get it.
Yeah, it's like
it has that-
$15, I think.
Yeah, it's
Give
like, I think you can name your price or some shit.
That's what I thought. Yeah, because I remember a little screen coming up like, we don't require a donation, but all donations are
Yeah.
appreciated. Or
And I was
something
like,
that.
fuck that. I don't know what this
I mean,
dating sim is.
Yeah,
do we
right.
want another one of these? So we got to pay for this.
Yeah.
See.
So that's why after the
Gotta give 'em money.
experience was done, I was like, fuck it, man, take my money. You can
Yeah.
have
Oh,
my
they
money.
deserved. They nailed it.
Yeah.
It was a roller coaster of a ride.
I would love to have the soundtrack on vinyl.
on vinyl.
That would be so
That'd be
fucking
awesome.
cool. But I'd have to have all the variants of the song because their OST on YouTube is just the normal songs. And I think there's something weird, but all the variants of like the My Confession song when it's just Yuri giggling and breathing heavy and shit. God, I wish Zach had played it with headphones on because I made Zach listen to that because he didn't notice it because he didn't have headphones on and he was too afraid to turn up the sound. So he never heard the giggling and the breathing and stuff.
Wait, hold up. Did Zach play without sound?
I think he just had the sound turned down.
I hope not.
I hope not. That the audio is what it doesn't make all of it, but it makes
It
like
helps fuck with you.
85% of it.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of those like suspenseful moments where it's leading you in. You're like, oh shit, I'm about to get jump scared. Oh shit, I'm about to get jump scared, and then nothing happens, or like a glitch will happen that's not at all what you expected.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh.
I mean,
my
just
God.
for the argument sequence alone, you have to have that sound
Yeah.
cranked up because it is fucking. I mean, it will ramp your heart rate up. So
I can't
play it
feel
with
my heart
headphones,
rate.
everyone.
Yes.
Yes.
Stereo.
Play with headphones.
And if you're like me,
not on
make sure to
Steam.
take your blood pressure medication before the game.
You will not regret it.
And I'm getting text from Wes.
Dr. DJ West.
Dr. DJ West.
Dr. DJ West. But yeah, I think that's a good little first base on Doki Doki.
Yeah, we're over an hour.
Yeah, we went pretty far. Yeah. Any fishing thoughts? Radis, Badis, Doki.
Monica's a murderer.
Monica is a murderer.
And
thought
if
you-
you,
I thought
go
you got turned around.
Natsuki, you're a pedophile.
I thought we got to turn around on this because remember Yuri's a witch.
Yuri's a murderer witch.
Yuri is a very nice young lady, and we're not gonna speak ill about her. And we're gonna.
She's got tissue titties.
She has a very authentic
Bust.
personality about her. She's a very real person. And I'm Creepy Pete, and I'm her future hubby. And yeah, that I don't really know where to go from that. But yeah, Yuri's my waifu. And I'd like to thank Chief Jay RadBad and the Radis Baddest DJ. Or Radis Bad, well, you are the Radis Baddest DJ. Radis Baddest Doki for hopping on my creepypastas.
Oh yeah, dude.
Creepy Pete's Pasta Party.
It's a hell of a topic for a first episode.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's gonna be a roller coaster of a
First
ride.
episode's best episode.
Just Monica.
Just Monica.